Welcome, my name is Brian Green with MaxBP. If you're watching this video, it's because you've recently become a MaxBP demonstrator. So, welcome aboard, we're very excited to have you. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with us. I'm just going to walk you through the various pieces of the kit that you either just received or are about to receive. We'll do another video to walk you through the stages of how to do a really good demonstration when you go out on a field, but that's for another day. This is just to kind of make sure that you're familiar with the various pieces of the kit. We'll start with the most self-explanatory first. Here's the home plate. Basic, but if you're out in a meadow or not in a baseball field, very, very useful to put that down to orient people as to where they're going to be hitting. Set up the MaxBP, make sure it's throwing strikes over the plate so that they know exactly where to stand. Then you can give them this bat to use in case they don't have their own. If they do have their own, that's one of the great things about MaxBP. These balls will not hurt anybody's bat, even if it's a $300 alloy thing. They don't have to worry about using it up, like you do at a regular cage. But if they want to use a really challenging bat, you notice the diameter on this one is small. It's relatively light. It's very versatile, so it'll work for a kid all the way down to 4 or 5 years old, but you can actually still use it as an adult. And like I said, it's very, very challenging. Small diameter, small ball, that's our whole philosophy. You're forcing yourself to focus even more on exactly where that ball is and be more precise. And then when you get to the regular game with a baseball or a softball, it looks like a beach ball. So, there's your MaxBP with 100 balls. A couple other pieces to the equation here. Here's the charger. It will come charged. It's supposed to be charged for about 4 hours, which will last a good long time when you're just demonstrating. You may only have the thing on for 45 minutes or an hour, even if you're out there for 2 hours. So it could last you a week's worth of demonstrating, but if you want to be safe, you can plug in the charger, and you don't have to worry about if it's still at half charge or 3/4 charge. There's no memory on it, so you can top it off every time you want to. This is our ball grabber. Really pretty nifty little tool. You'll notice that it actually saves you a lot of time picking up the balls. Certainly saves you a lot of back strain. But the thing you might not know is that you're going to find a lot of kids like picking up the balls just as much as they like hitting them. So this is a really popular tool. And last but not least, we have this tripod, and we really strongly encourage you to use it. It makes MaxBP much more effective. You have a variety of different heights that you can set it at. If you're working with softball players, I mean, the whole idea is to try and simulate the height that the pitch would be normally coming in. So a softball player, you might set it up here, close to where an underhand pitch is coming in. Baseball player, you might put it all the way up at the second level of legs. And then you even have the option of cranking it up a few more inches here if you need to. Now, the top comes like this. We'll do a close-up here in a minute, but basically there's this little square that comes out, and the easiest way to use it with MaxBP, I'm going to grab a different one that doesn't have balls in it, is this is going to come with the big screw towards the back. And what you want to do on here is you want to have the big screw that goes into this hole. The little peg here you want to have facing forward close to where MaxBP releases the balls. So we'll show you a close-up of this, but then you tilt this little metal piece, screw it in like that. Takes about 4 or 5 screws. You know it's facing exactly the correct direction. And then at that point, I'll do it on the side so you can see easier. What you're going to want to do is tilt MaxBP forward, put the front end of that square in first, pull this thing back 90 degrees to allow the thing to get level, and release, and it tightens it up like that. Then you want to tighten up every other thing that can be tightened on here so that it maintains its position even when it's pitching. The only thing that you'll need to be able to vary on a per pitch basis is this handle here. You can crank it counterclockwise. It loosens it up so that you can tilt back and forth, and then when you go clockwise, tightens it up and holds it in place. So obviously that's something that you're going to adjust depending on the distance that you're at, the speed you're at, and whether the person likes high pitches or low pitches, just to kind of hone in on exactly what that strike zone is. So that's a quick demonstration of how to set up and use MaxBP on a tripod, and we will be doing another video for you very, very soon.